You want to move. You want to move. You want to move. See me here dancing in the chair. Okay. I should put the camera so you can see and verify. I don't think. I don't think I need to go there. Okay. Just take my word for it. Let your imagination walk. But every now and then we don't have a little competition in here. Anyhow. See who got two left feet and who got two right. Yeah. Welcome to WSTX AM 970 Reflections. Yes. Your guy, Doug Canton here, sometimes silly, sometimes serious. Hey, go with the flow and what's happening in the community. All right, good thing. So, I hope you've been having a great, fantastic week. And this day starts off with a very good morning. Did you hear that shower last night, or you were just so snuggled up and out of it otherwise that the rain came and passed and you didn't hear it? Well, yeah, I heard it. I had me there double checking. Did I close that window? All right. But all's well and good. All's well and good. If it got a little bit wet out there, all's well and good. Yeah. So much going on in our community, I tell you. Okay. I think back on going to the Caribbean Community Theater and seeing Steel Magnolias. And it was fun. It's also fun when you go someplace and you see the audience get into something like that. It's like, whoa, okay. So, but anyhow, I know you might be tempted to think that I'm home alone. I ain't home alone. I got company. I just giving them a little bit of slack to set up. But in the meantime,
they say your voice have an echo.
Okay, let's see what's up. Okay. Okay, we got something here on. Okay, it should be off now. Okay, good thing. So,
excuse me.
Yeah, last minute mic ad there that needed to turn off. Anyhow, folks, Virgin Islands history, Virgin Islands culture, Virgin Islands tradition, Virgin Islands culture bearers and otherwise persons of renown or significant note in the Virgin Islands. All of that is circling all around us all the time, but sometimes it's about us taking the time to look, see, read, enjoy, participate, whatever the case may be. All right. Every now and then I'm on the road and I run into people, of course, they want to talk. Yeah, they want to talk. They want to talk about what we're talking about here on the radio. So, okay, no problem. We talk. But you run into all kinds of folks with different things to talk about besides the show, too. And every now and then I run into this guy, Myron Alec. Yeah. I call the name Myron Alec, but I'm not going to take for granted that just because I know who that is, that you know. But sometimes you know people through their people. And in this case, Myron Alec is the son of Wilfred Elisha Alec, better known as Bomba. Yeah. A sailor with a history, a very storied history here, out of St. Croix, across to Denmark. It's one of those things that we need to know as part of our history. Well, we have a book called Wilfred Elisha Alec Bomba, the story of a Virgin Islands hero. And it's going to be launched in the next couple of weeks, I believe. And I'll be talking about that and keeping you abreast so that if you want to attend that launch and get your copies early, that'll be your opportunity to do that then and there. Yeah, but this man has a very storied history. Anything you're looking for. You're looking for romance, you're looking for what could go wrong and how what could go wrong turned out to be a blessing and how it worked out that he made his mark. Hey, lots of good information in this book. Genealogy, all of that. All of that. And I'm saying that so that you can know and take the time out to make the opportunity to get a copy of this book. Now, I used to have a whole bunch of books on my shelf, but now primarily my focus is books from local authors. No, I have some not so local authors that I have books from also, and I cherish those. But in particular, for instance, I have a book from Mr. Schroeder that was gifted to me by him and signed by him. One of them had information about my grandmother on the Canton Roebuck side. Yeah. And it's just one of those things that the Schroders, the Bumba Alex, all of these folks, even the Doc Petersons, all of them have made an impact in our community, and we could spend the whole studio time just calling names. But what I would encourage you to do is to get your copies of these very, very important books before they are out of print. Okay? Because then they become a collector's item just by your collection, and then by the fact that, like a lot of very good books now out there, you can't get a copy. Okay? And they're not available digitally, which is something that may change in the not too distant future. But hey, one day at a time. So yeah, Myron Alec, congratulations. Congratulations. And I appreciate your stick-to-itiveness, and especially I appreciate the very hands-on, direct, involved, family-related, boating-related experience that you have had with your father and have compiled through this book and woven in your family and a whole lot of other persons that when people read it, they're going to see, hey, wow, small world. Anyhow, with that, go ahead and do your mornings for the morning, and then we can move forward.
Really? Good morning and welcome to WSTX AM 970, your community-minded station. Good morning, Douglas Canton.
Good morning, sir.
You're listening to Reflections with Doug Canton and Gerard Evelyn. Good morning, Big Sis. Good morning, KJ. Good morning to St. Thomas, St. John. Good morning, Christianstead, Frederickstead, Mid-Island. Man, good morning around the world. Hey, Devon, good morning, Mr. Grant. Mr. Nibs, good morning. Hey, Kimmery, good morning. All my friends over there in North and South Carolina, good morning. Florida, good morning. New York, good morning. ATL, Atlanta, good morning. Hey, listen. New Jersey, good morning. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you got people, so much people, too numerous to mention. So I was listening to the news this morning on my way in. Man, and one of our, people of St. Croix, Frederickstead, it was read over the news that they passed away. Mr. Ronald Russell, attorney Ronald Russell, passed away. So, to the Russell family, you have my deepest condolences.
Condolences.
Yeah, I was like, what? I said, jeez. I mean, within a month, I've had a few friends of mine pass away over the last 4 weeks. People I knew personally, and I'm like, it's on what is life, eh? Some of them, my age, just a little older, and I was like, unbelievable. It was like, but some of them passed from illness, some of them was a sudden death, so my condolences to all of you guys out there who have lost a loved one. I just read in the on Facebook that a friend of mine who passed away, her daughter is going through some things right now, so I have to check in on them a little later as well. So I don't know, boy, bad news on top of bad news. But on the bright side, good morning to Julian's Trucking. Julian's Trucking. Hey, call him, tell him the blind man sent you. 340-277-8510. 340-277-9093. One call does it all. I mean, 2 services. You got trucking and trash removal and water delivery. I mean, you got it all in one stop. So if you need water, Julian is the man to call. If you need a bin to clean out your yard, that's the man to call. So give him a call. 340-277-9093. 340-277-8510. Tell him Gerard sent you. Yeah, but that's on the bright side of things. And I want to say good morning to the staff or the principals of VIU said if they're listening already, because I don't send them the link for them to come in at the 9 o'clock hour. So hopefully we ain't got no Jumbi in the studio. So this will be a seamless transition this morning. If you're wondering what VIU said, is Bernard's University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities. Okay, that's a center under UVI that assists persons with disabilities and others, seniors and persons with disabilities. It assistive technology, and other stuff like the DME closet. DME closet, you want to know what that be? Well, that's another word for saying durable medical equipment. So if you need a wheelchair, walker, or a cane in a pinch, and we open Monday to Friday, till 4:30. So anytime between from 8:30 to 4:30, you'll come out needing something like that. Give us a call, 340-692-4267, and we can give you a loan until your insurance kick in and you get your own wheelchair, walker, or cane. And then you bring ours back, we sanitize it and put it there for the next person that may need it. We also do take donations. So if you have a loved one that for whatever reason no longer needs that mobility device and it is in good condition that can be used by someone else, you can call us as well and make a appointment time to drop it off at our office. We will sanitize it and put it aside for when somebody else that may need it again. That's just one of the services that VIU said provides to the community. Because just like WSTX is a community-minded station, VIU said is a community-minded center. Okay, so keep that in mind. We also do assistance with your cell phones. If you have a problem with your cell phone, you're a senior, you need guidance on how to use your cell phone, getting your emails and stuff on your cell phone, give us a call, 340-692-4266. call and make an appointment. We are happy to serve you. Dougie,
Yes, sir.
I hear we have coming up this month. We have the open house again at the Diabetes Center.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I always say, that if we had this center around like 20 something years ago when I first became a diabetic, I probably would have been better off.
If what now?
I probably would have been better off.
Okay.
Because I would have more knowledge about diabetes. Because my biggest issue navigating diabetes was not knowing that as a diabetic you need to see a specialist, and the specialist is called a endocrinologist. Just like if you have a kidney problem, you need a nephrologist. So as a person with diabetes, you need to be seen by an endocrinologist in order to get your diabetes under control, and probably, live a better life, to live a better quality of life. Because sometimes people, these doctors, they're like general practitioners, but they can treat you, but diabetes is not their real field. So the endocrinologist, that is their field. They deal with the endo system in the body, thyroids, all that stuff. So you, as a diabetic, my best advice to you out there is go see your endocrinologist, your local endocrinologist. There's one at the Diabetes Center for Excellence. There's one at the Frederick State Healthcare Northside location. So be proactive instead of reactive. That's my advice for you this Thursday morning. And guess what? Somebody get paid today. And I think maybe somebody might be getting paid tomorrow. Doug, you're getting paid tomorrow?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. But I mean, if you're going to send some money my way, I ain't going to turn it down.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of money, it has come to my attention that the folks at Rotary Mid-Island have a raffle going on for $10,000.
Well, how much about a ticket?
I don't know, Jared. I just find out today. But if it was $100, I'd try a thing. $50, I'd try a thing for $10,000.
Wow.
Some of these things that I want to do with these young people, whether the digital equipment and everything else costs some serious money, And I mean, I don't have a way to put it back into the community, if you understand where I'm coming from, because they're doing what they're doing at Rotary Mid-Isle and the other Rotary chapters that are doing great things here on St. Croix. And they're going to be coming in here next week for 9 o'clock. And I'm glad to have them, because I think they don't blow their horn enough. They need to blow it more. So we can help. And so that's the deal with that. We got a call on line 2. Good morning, WSTX.
And good morning to Dr. Bush, Dr. Gerald, and politician and IT man, Canton. How you all doing?
No, I am a track star, a marathon runner.
Oh,
Okay?
so that's where you're there?
That's right. I running for life. Okay?
Okay, well,
I'm not a doctor.
that's the wrong part.
I'm not a doctor. I'm the AT guy.
Okay, then, good.
Assistive
No,
technology.
because I heard you talk about nephrologist and imprachologist and the other things that you said this.
Nephrologist and endocrinologist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have a kidney
Listen.
problem, you go see the nephrologist.
You know,
Yeah. Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
I was made to understand that type 1 diabetes is when you're born with it because it's hereditary. Is that correct?
That's what I was told. Type 1 is also known as juvenile diabetes.
Juvenile, yeah.
Yes.
Juvenile good for nothing.
Yeah.
The type 2, is well more than borderline, but it's treatable.
When you acquire it as an adult.
Okay, because that happened to me, you know? And God is a good God, as well as doctors, as well as bush doctor too. Because I know when my sugar, first thing in the morning before I even yam anything, would be looking to go up to 160 this and this kind of thing. And I, of course, went to my physicians with it. They drop blood every 5 minutes and this kind of thing. And I also had a cousin in Totola that they used to call the Ayatollah. You might have known the Ayatollah.
I heard the name.
The reason I say that, because he was involved in a lot of symposiums and training. He used to go all about the states and things with Bush
Okay.
from Totola to heal people.
Okay.
But anyway, one time I met him in Totola when I was working there, the family business. And he said, "Cousin, come." I went over to his little booth. He had a little booth there by the tourist ship place. He said, "Listen," he said, "you got to get a belly down." I said, "Me, I got to get a belly down. I don't drink a lot of beer." He said, "Well, that belly is up in your chest." He said, "'Cause I want a belly down." And he gave me something to drink and with Bush. So let me tell you something. The sugar line was afraid to get close to 100 in the morning. It ain't going up to no 1, not no more 150, 60 days. It was staying around 100.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good numbers, I understand, fasting should not go over 126. Is that correct?
It shouldn't go over 120.
Okay, good. Well, thank God for him and thank God for you and everybody else, because right now it is more than controlled.
Right.
You see? And
Yeah.
I would urge anyone else, don't just say, "May I get up in the morning, my item like I can't see good, and this and I pee a lot, I get up every 5 minutes to pee." For God's sake, go to the doctor and let them check you out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Now, let me. You want to say something about that, or I'll go to another subject? You go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say the safest numbers are between 75 and 120. So that's the
Okay.
range you should be in between.
now we're talking about
That's your glucose level, your blood sugar level.
Right.
As a fasting
Glucose.
in the morning, like when I get up in the morning, I look at mine is between 80 and 95. So
Hey, okay.
I'm within
Gerald,
a good
I'm
range.
glad you went there because it reminded me to say something which is very important.
Uh-huh.
And it happened when I was working in Totola as well for several years in the family businesses. I used to find myself out of nowhere sweating a lot.
Oh yeah, that's when
To
it
be
go.
in air condition, I don't wet.
Yeah, that's when it's dropping down below 50.
Well, I'm coming to you. So, Gerald, one day my elder brother, God rest him in his grave, we were building some homes, and we went up, after we closed the auto parts and rental business, we went up the hill where the homes are being built to see what the men did for the day. And while I up there, my brother said to me, Ali, why you sweating so? Well, he was driving his car, I was driving mine. I was able to get the car down to the parking lot of the businesses, and he decided, you go in hospital, buddy. But let me tell you something. It's a good thing I get it because it was 50 and dropping.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I said?
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I don't like nothing sweet. The only thing sweet I like is woman. You feel me?
Yeah, I can relate.
But anyway, the doctors, they say some code, red code. Some the doctors running coming from all about.
Mm-hmm.
And they bring a big cauldron of a yellow, thick, sweetie thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell me, I cannot drink this thing. It's too sweet. Put some water, water in it. You drink it. And let me tell you something. The sugar then went up to 110 or 120. But then it make a sudden drop. It went to 25. Jesus Christ, you're going dead. The point is, like everything else, too low is worse than too high.
Yeah.
Because the doctor will tell
too
you
high?
If it's too high, I could bring it down.
Yeah, but depends on how high it goes.
Oh, well, okay, that's right. But let me, again, this is very good. This is a good day today because I had a cousin one time. She went, the lady selling her ticket, walking, going the street. Me, see nothing wrong with her. She just decides she was carrying her husband to the doctor. She said, well, while I'm here, let me check something. The doctor find her sugar was over 800.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you don't know how she went totally blind or dropped down.
Well, if you had reached if you had reached 1,000, it'll take her out.
All right.
Oh Jesus! Well,
yeah, because my
like
kids,
that's why I like this program because you got very good information.
Yeah,
I said, I had feel it a little too high. I got it under control, but I had also almost hit rock bottom.
Yeah. I have been there. One day I was at home and I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden I felt my clothes. I don't take my shower, All of a sudden I feel my clothes soaking wet like somebody threw a bucket of water on me. So I said,
the same thing with me.
Like what happened here? So when I managed to, and then my hand shaking. So I managed to stabilize my hand and I checked my sugar. When I checked my sugar, it was 42.
Oh Lord!
So I said, what the hell? So I have nearby everywhere I'm at in the house, I had these glucose tablets and stuff. So I grabbed a couple and I took it. I took a lot, and it started going up. And then another time previous, when I used to work, I was working and I was signing the invoice for the lady, and I tell her, she gave me the check and I put in everything and I hold in the pen and my finger numb, and I say, but I don't feel right.
Wow.
I say, man, I don't feel. So I say, I go into the doctor. I go into the ER. You know? So I drove myself to the ER. When I get there, I told them my symptoms and so. When they carry me in, when they do the initial triage and everything, when they check my sugar, the machine beep. And when it beep, it just tell them HI.
Jesus. It couldn't read the number. It was
no.
too high.
HI. That's all the things you have. The man watch me, he said, you lucky you come here. I said, why? He said, because if you are go home and sleep, you will not wake up.
Let me ask you something. Your sight, is it the diabetes that took your sight away from you?
Yeah, it damaged the veins in the retina, the
Oh
vessels.
my God.
It
Jesus.
damaged the vessels in the retina.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suffered through double retinal detachment because the
Yeah.
diabetes caused what you call diabetic retinopathy. And,
I've heard about that with them big word there.
yeah. And
Yeah, but you know, again, Dougie, this is a show. I love this show so much because right now I'm here sitting with a pile of people in Houston, and they just with their eye open. Who these two men is, and they know all of this. They want to know what Dr. Canton and Jerry is. I don't have to fly all you out here.
there is no doctor in the house. It's just experiences.
We need to start doing a disclaimer.
There's no doctor in the house. Let me make that disclaimer. I am not a doctor.
Okay.
I'm no.
You know something? And like I mean, again, this is the gospel truth, and it behooves us. Our body has talked to us.
Yeah.
It has talked to us. Anyway, I had this friend. We came back from Nam. His nickname was Nam for being in Vietnam. Nam. He was a good military man. He killed a lot of people over there. Pow, 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 pow. Anyway, he used to say to me, I used to friend with one of his sisters. He said, Branzo, well, you always going doctor, spending all the money. Never going to the wrong shop, spend it in there. I said, well, I don't spend it in there too. But I going to the doctor to check myself. He told me he going to none. Well, let me tell you something. All of a sudden, I see the fellow losing a lot of weight. I say, what happened? You on a weight loss plan? He said, what weight loss plan? I am very strong. I come from Vietnam, I'm strong. I said, but you're losing weight, my brethren. Well, anyway, when he went, they say it was too late. He ended up with I think what he had was, it wasn't prostate cancer. It was the one that was in the blood, the cancer. What is it?
Leukemia?
It's some other name I've heard them call, but they call it blood cancer too.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that, it's like, you got to give up, because I remember very well my mother, God rest her, she had a granddaughter, which was one of my niece, and she came down with bone cancer. It's the same thing I understand that Elmer Roebuck had. And she used to call my mother and they praying for hours, but she begging God to take her because she cannot take the pain. Valium, all kind of painkiller, wasn't touching her pain, brother. Wasn't touching it. I mean, that was such a sorrowful death where you begging God to take you. You ain't asking him to heal you.
Okay.
Take me out of this mess.
Well, let's
So again,
let's flip it a little
these
bit.
are lessons.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's flip it a little bit here. Early detection, whether it's cancer or diabetes or whatever, early detection is that's your friend. Early detection is your friend.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I just tell people, if you could spend money on everything, you got a nice car, you got that $1,000 rim, but you wouldn't take a low-dose aspirin.
You know?
I don't know. But let me go quickly and say this. I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. You know, Sunday is their big day. And we don't want them get up to cook no food. Are you man? Boss a man pat. You see? And also I would like to say to all the persons that have passed, including two very close friends of mine, Ronnie, I used to call him Ronnie the Rascal, but that's my boy. And Ronnie Russell. And of course, John, Big Brother ICM Bell. You guys rest in peace. Okay, I'll turn it back to Ayo.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You take care. All right.
Good.
Good thing. Yeah. Early detection is the key, folks. Early detection is the key, whatever it is. And that means An annual physical.
That means you gotta do the checkup.
An annual physical
Annual, gotta do the annual.
is a systematic way of making sure you don't get surprised. Not that something can happen in between, but at least you have a process in place. You know, they said change the car oil every 3 months. That don't mean you don't check the oil for 3 months, you know, because something could go wrong, and the car losing oil. You got to have some process in place. So,
But you know something, you have some people wouldn't even check their car oil.
well, I am aware of that. And that's why they don't keep people who don't sell new engine in business. Okay, so if they have a desire to keep the people who sell engines or sell new cars or replacement cars, you know, don't deny them of their pleasure. Okay.
Well, my daughter
Mm-hmm.
was like, Daddy, my car need oil change. So I said, receipt. Check your oil. I said, lift up the hood. I told her where to find the dipstick. I said, get a cloth or paper and you clean the dipstick and stick it back in. I said, when you stick it back in, wait about 10, 20 seconds and put it back out. Then you look at it. If it's dark, then you know you gotta change your oil. And make sure you watch to see the level it is on the dipstick. I say, you see where the dipstick it says full and it says what it says add? She's like, yes, Daddy. I said, when you pull the dipstick out, you look to see. If it says add, you're gonna need a quart. And then if you take your finger and you pass it on the dipstick and you check you rub it between your two fingers and you feel gritty, you know you gotta change your oil. Got the oil in a good. She said, but Daddy, how you know all that? I said, that's why I'm here to teach you. Right? She's like, oh, okay. I said, if you ain't sure, ask your mother. She can tell you, 'cause I had to teach her the same thing. So, every time she check her oil now. Because she would jump in the car and all she do is gas and go.
Okay, well, that's the key thing there is that people just will get in the car and go. I mean, they wake up every day and they go.
Yeah.
I mean, in this case, the human body, they wake up every day and they go.
Yeah, gas and go.
You know, if something happens that your vision becomes blurry, something going on with your body. Your eyes don't just decide out of the blue that things gonna get blurry. Now, what causes things to happen? It's not you to play doctor. Let the doctor do their job.
Well,
Okay?
you know, funny you should say that, Doc. My eyes never really went blurry. What started happening for me, I started having problem processing light.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting blurry, like in the evening time, I couldn't process the light from the cars, stuff like that. I noticed I needed like a LED light or bright lights to see, like if I'm driving and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. And I understand that that's your experience. My point is that when your body is talking to you, you see something that is
right,
not how you regularly are. That should be an alert. Why is this happening? Okay. And the other thing is we can get so complacent because it's always been okay. Well, the fact of the matter is you could run that tire on that car and run that tire on that car. Everything seems all right. You're just driving up and down the place. And then when it blow out, it's kind of like, wait, no, a tire have a lifespan. The other day I was driving a car as a test because the person's saying, well, you notice anything of this? It is a thump, thump, thump. So I said, well, let me drive it. So I drive the car and I feel this thing start make this noise, boom, boom, boom. And I said, wait, no, something. So my first thing was, okay, what's the oldest tire on this car? Because I figure if usually the first tire to go bad would be the last tire that hasn't been changed. And sure enough, when I took it in for them to look at it, sure enough, the thread was coming apart and a bubble was coming up. So the next thing to happen would have been a blowout, you know. So it's just the same thing. You drive that car and you notice something going on, don't ignore it. You in that body, that's your body, and it's doing something, don't ignore it.
Inspection.
You know, in the, and you see the thing is, don't play your own doctor. Men complaining about, you know, frequent urination. There are a lot of different things that can cause that. Some folks jump straight to prostate and this, that, and the other, and whatever. It may have to do with that. It may have to do with some other imbalance. It could be something else going on in your body, and that's part of your body trying to flush out something, you know. So those annual checkups are particularly important in the context of your due diligence. Let's call it that. You're quick to want to condemn the politicians or the bureaucrats because something gone out of line and you say you didn't do your due diligence. Well, hey, you know, it's your body. You got to do your due diligence and get your checkup. I went to the YAG Foundation, Yvonne Ashley Gallagher Foundation event the other day, the breast and prostate cancer conference, and it was very, very, very enlightening. As much as I thought I knew, it was very enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge I find, okay, we got somebody calling here. Let me see if we're gonna get a flash on that one. But the key thing is that the information have to get out to the community, and I look forward to when some of these presentations actually get to the public. Yeah, because you could talk about something just like how we're talking here now, and we have an audience of 1 or 1,000, we don't know. But we know that whether it's 1 or 1,000, they have 1 million people out there. And in that 1 million people, there are people who the information is relevant to. And so being able to record it in this day and age and put it on YouTube and make it accessible by the public is very, very important. Let's see who we got here. Okay, not line 2.
Line 1 today.
Okay. Good morning, WSTX. You're on the air.
Yeah, Dougie, quickly on another subject as it just flashed across the tube here. So that's supposed to be Teacher Appreciation Day stateside. I don't know if it filtered down to the Virgin Islands, but whether it did or not, I mean, we need to celebrate those who have taught us. Let me tell you, it is not an easy job.
Yes.
I love challenges and love hard work. But don't tell me you're going to pay me $500,000 to be a teacher. I don't want it. Because I ain't got that kind of patience. I tell you ABC, you tell me CBA. You think I'm going to lick it up? I can't do it. Anyway.
That's why.
Thank God Mr. Nibs is not a teacher. At least in the classroom.
Well, sir, I mean, Mr. Nibs, that mean your children had it hard, boy.
Oh, Christ, they did.
See,
yes.
See what you're talking about?
While you
for them, their mothers, because there were several mothers for them, they had more patience than I and I. And me ain't got that stand for the patience. It got to happen now. I would have missed no right away. I don't know. I must see
what's your
difference is a plot or
what's
something.
your
I don't know.
what's your sign, Mr. Nibs?
But anyway, yeah.
Mr. Nibs.
Another subject you I was talking about.
Before you go there,
Huh?
before you go there, what's your sign?
Scorpio.
Oh Jesus, that's why.
They say we think we are perfectionists. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. My daughter is one. That's why I said that.
Everything got to be right and correct. And I can't take foolishness. A Scorpio, you could take candy out of the mouth, like taking candy from a baby. But cross a Scorpio, you're in a lot of trouble, brother.
Well, that's Scorpio. I got it like to sting. So.
I am November 10th. The 10th, and around that area, they call it staunch Scorpio.
Okay. You were going to.
Yeah. Okay.
You were going to talk about something else. What was it?
Yes. Yes. Okay. The cars. Now, a car, even if it is brand new, God knows I probably stole thousands of them and rented 10,000 more. You check the oil when the car is cold and sitting before you start it.
Correct.
And like Gerald said, the stick, wipe off this. With regards to transmission now, the car would have had to be running. Not just with the engine running on the road where the transmission parts are moving. You stop it on a level surface, you put it in park, and then you check the transmission level. Gerald, right or wrong?
That's one way, and then there's well, they used to have a way when you pull the dipstick, it would say whether the coal level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could see when the transmission is level coal. You could check it that way. Well, you could have checked it that way at one point, but now they don't even have a dipstick for the transmission no more.
I know, because I buy and sell cars. I got a Chrysler 200 convertible, and I keep reading the book about transmission, and I go in and I take the tap and I can't find no dipstick. The transmission is sealed.
Yeah.
You see? So I guess at whatever interval, you got to go to the transmission shop and then they take the cover off and they will change the fluid in the transmission. Not oil. Transmission is not oil, it's fluid.
Yeah, you change the fluid and the filter after a certain amount.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Or you flush it. You flush it out as well. But
No.
I'm going out by saying this. A lot of people would say, "My son, this is a brand new car. You tell me about check oil. Me see no oil on the ground. Let me tell you something about oil on the ground, not on the ground. A car could be leaking oil not when it is stands still, when it is driving. That's when it's leaking the oil. So you ain't gonna see no oil when you park it up. Guy don't leak out all.
But when you start seeing oil on the ground, that's when you have a major problem.
Exactly. You see, but, I mean, again, I love this program for this because it's good. It's teaching people things, what they need to do. Because you tell, I'm telling you, some of them lady kind, don't tell them nothing about checking. Me, I check for oil. You think better run if I don't go. I got a little girlfriend one time and she sees up the engine in a car. The car stopped. It's about on I-95. I said, well, stop calling, wreck, how you want me to do? When I drag it back to the shop, the engine was seized. Don't allow to check the oil. Why?
Yeah, I had one, but it wasn't her fault. The people she trusted to change the oil never changed the oil. So when the car stopped on her and she called me, the first thing I do, I check the dipstick, and the oil tick like molasses.
Thank you.
So then I looked to bump the engine. The starter wouldn't even move the engine. I said, I said the engine gone. She said, what?
Ease up.
Yeah.
Ease up.
So,
And an engine, I would have you know, could run you 6,000 to 10, 12,000.
man,
I gone again.
I get a whole car for $200.
Well, you get a car for 200, but then the engine costs 12,000.
No, the engine, I get the engine out of the car to fix our car.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay,
But-
I'm going to continue
yeah.
to listen.
Okay.
Yes, I.
All right. Well, when I
People, the numbers are called and they show, I forgot to give out the numbers because, you know, it's 340-773-0390 and 340-773-0490. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind or what you want to see going forward, especially, you know, what's going on, what you think happening or going to happen with this primary election coming up and the upcoming election, you know. What horse you're betting on? You know, I ain't watching no horse race. So, doggy.
Yes, folks. When I got out this morning, the last thing I expected was to be attending a seminar on car maintenance, but we are. It is what it is, right? So, for those who may be interested, I am interested, and I know a lot of people here who are interested. That this past Wednesday was Nurses' Day, and from then to the 12th is Nurses Appreciation Week. All right, good thing. Do you have a nurse near you? You probably do. Okay. Are you guys out there who got that significant other that'll grab you by the ear and take you to the doctor? They nursing you in the door to be around and live. Okay, so even if it's amateur nursing week, I don't care how you look at it. Nurses are important. All right. But the ability to listen to your body and take heed is equally important. But sometimes the nurse that will grab you by the ear, okay, to get you into the hospital. All right? Folks, night or day, the nurse is important, okay? All right, good
But
thing.
dog, sometimes people don't know how to translate that language. Yeah.
Hey, you know.
The language the body giving them.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, something different. You don't have to have the chart that tells you, well, okay, this is the difference and this is where it is on the chart. But you know you have somebody out there that could tell you that. And that's the doctor. All right? So you got to check in with the doctor. All right? So, folks on the road out there, please be safe. Take your time to get where you need to go. All right? Take your time. I'm seeing more and more foolishness out there where people trying to pass on blind corner and thing, and then they reach a spot and they turn off to go, and it's like, but if this is where you are going, what's all of this about? Stay off of people bumper. This, you know, when you're driving down the road, it ain't Juve. Stay off of people bumper.
They think they're in a Trump hour.
I don't know, Jared. Okay, you know who it was in the soul song? Pull up to the bumper.
Yeah,
You know,
pull
no.
up to the bumper,
Okay. I didn't mean to get you started now. People, he getting up and getting ready to grab his cane and stand up and start dancing, walking up in here. Okay, behave yourself, Jared. Okay, but anyhow. Folks, I can't stress it enough. You're going to get where you got to go, and especially if you leave early. Remember, on time is late and early is on time. Always plan for early, okay?
Okay, and piggybacking on what you just said there, dog, the Public Works Department has announced that the East Airport Road intersection will be closed from today. It'll be closed today and tomorrow due to reopen, I think, on Saturday. They're close to, I guess, repave or do whatever construction by Marco Paving. And so the intersection from Diageo
They're setting you
heading west
Yeah.
will be closed. So you will have to go on to Clifton Hill Road towards Central
Mary.
High School,
Yeah.
to get on Queen Mary. So if you have to go to the airport, you have to travel down to the West
West
Airport
Airport
Road
Road.
intersection. And, I mean, with Diamond, Cruise and Rum Road, go across and enter that way to the airport and come back that way when you're leaving the airport.
Well, I am guessing. You know how good I guess this is. But all of you who out there on the road, you could tell me how good I guess this is. It is my guess that they discovered the Grand Canyons there when you're going across that intersection. I mean, especially coming east, you'll see people in the right lane, in your lane, because they're trying to avoid the Grand Canyon. So I hope that is what they are addressing, okay? Because, folks, I'll give you another example. When you come in on, let me see, when you pass what used to be Scotiabank / now, what the other one name now? Oriental coming east, okay? When you're reaching by the turning there to the Sunny Isle Annex, at the second turning, in between the first and the second, you have some problems there with the road. So you who coming west, seeing all these people coming over to your side, like, you won't hit me, because me going in that pothole. At least if you hit me, I could sue you and get some money, but that pothole, nobody reimbursing us for the damage that them thing doing. Anyhow, and it's been there like that for the longest while. Another example, right here by Legion Hall here in Christian State. Have you ever seen that road be smooth from all the way up to the ballpark? No, that road always mashing up in it, which means that it needs to be properly engineered and paved properly the first time around, which is like, how many years now I observing this? It's a whole lot of years. Anyhow, I'm not saying that to make anybody look bad, but hopefully to encourage them to say, well, okay, let we go and fix it so they could talk good about us, okay? And so, Public Works, VI Paving, whoever, if you are the ones responsible for removing the Grand Canyon in the East Airport Road intersection, kudos to you, because it's long overdue. Okay?
Yeah, and big up to Marco Paving, a local guy that doing big things, and if you're coming up from west, heading east, the farthest you can go is at the stoplight at the industrial park. Then you have to turn to go through Golden Grove and head on to Queen Mary Highway to continue on up.
Okay.
So,
All
just as a traffic report.
It's now 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
9:01 actually. Top of the hour here. So I
Top
know
of the
at
hour.
any moment we'll be having a visit from the folks that keep us straight. Okay. In advance, I'd like to say a very special thank you to our sponsors, our advertisers, everybody who is doing business with WSTX by way of advertising that keeps us on the air. Thank you for what you do. And just keep in mind that a community-minded station is just that, a community-supported station. All right? Good thing. You get out what you put in, folks. I say that Whether it's a station, your children, your schools, you get out what you put in. You don't make the investment, hey, then don't complain that you didn't get a return.
True.
You know, plain and simple. All right, so you have folks coming in here for 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I sent out the email.
Okay, so
you
I
see anybody?
see somebody's here. Let me see what we got here. Okay. Yes, and we're gonna have our top of the hour stuff going on
Can you
here.
put the
and-
voice up there by the cue?
Okay, but first we're going top of the hour. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta pay some bills, keep the mics on, lights on. We'll be back after these messages. No coffee for you guys, just for me.
AM 970, WSTX, Christiansted, Frederickstead, and the Virgin Islands.
It's hurricane season. Don't get caught scrambling.
We have the principals for VIU said, the Virgin Islands University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities. I think we may have Miss Shamika Thomas, Miss Sharon Williams, and Miss Khalifa Thomas. Are you guys present?
Okay, we calling the roll. You might have to send him a text.
Unmute you guys. Unmute yourselves.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're here.
Okay, she didn't put it up here. Okay, hold on one second.
Which speaker are we talking about?
The one up here. You know what to do?
You're talking about the one that is inside the
in
camera?
the board. No, the one in the board. No, she knows how to do it. Don't mess with the camera. Yeah. Just 1 second. We're doing a little small technical difficulties there. Bring the cue up here by the board.
Okay.
You have it in the back of me.
There we go.
Okay, mic test.
Their mics are turned off.
Okay, turn on your mics again. Good morning,
Hello.
guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you guys.
Okay.
Okay, to the listening public, we have online here the executive team for VIU said. They are here to let us know all the good things that VIU said have to offer to the listening public and to the public in general, whether you're on campus as a student or someone who has a disability. So I'm going to call on, is it safe to say Dr. Thomas?
Okay, Dr. Thomas isn't with us yet.
Mr. Evelyn, good morning.
Oh, okay,
How
they're
are
in the
you
same room
doing?
together. Okay.
Good morning.
And good morning, everyone in the studio. Good morning, everybody in listening land. My name is Shamika Thomas. I'm the executive director for VIU SAID, and we are one of 68 centers across the United States called University Centers for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities. So there's at least one USAID in every state and territory, where a few states may have more than one. So it's a pleasure to be here today. And of course, we're located within the School of Education at the University of the Virgin Islands. So I would be remiss if I did not mention that we are an affiliate of the university.
Okay.
Keep going. Who's next?
And I guess Sharon, Miss Sharon Williams could introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Morning to the listening audience. My name is Sharon Williams. I am the Associate Director here at VIU SAID. It's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to the conversation that we're going to have.
Mm-hmm. Doug Canton here with you also.
Do we have the Assistant Director, Ms. Khalifa Thomas?
Unfortunately, Khalifa is not here at this time.
Okay.
So we could proceed with the interview.
Okay. Oh, we got two of you.
Great for a start. Okay, so tell us a little bit about VIU SAID and its mission.
So VIU SAID, as I said, is a part of a national network of centers for disabilities. And our mission is to make sure that people with disabilities have a good life quality and are included in decision making from the very beginning, so that they may have a good quality of life and may be able to live independently in our territory.
Fantastic. All right. Well, you have a great ambassador here in this station for your mission, because this gentleman in here is always, how should I say, perplexing people, trying to understand how he does the things that he does, and he's always talking about VIU SAID in the particular context of giving people training and exposure to things that help their quality of life, improve their quality of life. A thing that, for instance, that so many people take for granted these days is just that you pick up a phone and you make a phone call, whatever the case may be. But there are people for whom that is a challenge, and we gotta expert trainer in the studio and in VIU said, in the form of Gerard Evelyn. All right, so I'm always blowing his horn, and he's always blowing VIU said horn. So you're getting it from two sides.
Oh yes, I refer to Mr. Evelyn as the superstar of the agency. He has been a very valuable team member to where you said, as a self advocate, even just a human being in general. And I am so glad that Mr. Evelyn decided to join our team. He's been really instrumental in training persons on using assistive technology devices and
Okay.
any other ways that he could help persons with disabilities be able to live independently or have inclusion. He's been very instrumental in that. So, Mr. Evelyn,
Okay.
thank you so much for not only this invite, but also for all the things that you do for, via you said, our community and persons who may not know how to navigate maybe even acquired disability if they weren't born with one. Thank you for being an example of what is possible with technology and other devices that may be able to assist with inclusion.
Okay.
You're welcome.
One of the things that we both talk about is the durable equipment program that you have. How did that come about?
I'll let Mrs.
Yeah,
Williams
Miss Williams.
address that one.
Yes. Yes. So the durable medical equipment is actually a program, not a program, an activity on the assistive technology program, which is really called ViTrade. And ViTrade means Virgin Islands Technology Related Assistance for Individuals with Disabilities. So it's the reuse program, and it falls under one of the activities under the assistive technology program. So wherever the assistive technology program, the AT program is administered across the United States, the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, there is a reuse program. In our in our case, and the programs look very differently. So in our program, we provide durable medical equipment of wheelchairs, walkers, and canes. So very specific to mobility. And one of the reasons why we chose that, we look at what are the things that we can easily manage and get through the door without major repairs and major um, things for storage and things like that. And we were fortunate enough to receive some funds from First Bank, um, and they were able to help us bring in the initial devices. So our offices on St. Croix and St. Thomas have this these equipment. Again, it's limited to wheelchairs, walkers, and canes. If anyone in the community who have a disability may be going through some rehabilitation. We get referrals from the hospital, people who are being discharged, family members, community, whoever needs, and we have that, and they meet the definition of a person with a disability with a need, they can actually access um, those devices as long as we have them at no cost.
Yes.
We also encourage that folks, when they don't no longer need the equipment, to return it, because we're able now to take that back and give it to someone else. And sometimes people need it as a loaner because they're waiting for their own, and so that they can do that. We also get, as a matter of fact, I got a message about a week or two ago for a visitor to St. Thomas who was coming for a week and wanted to get a wheelchair. Now she specified she wanted a motorized wheelchair, and we don't have motorized wheelchairs because we're not specialized for that. We have the basic wheelchairs. But even for someone who is visiting the island and have that need, they can access um,
Yes.
those equipment.
Yeah, well, I really commend the organization for having that. I talk about it from time to time in the context that I kind of get tired of going to the convenience center and seeing things at the convenience center that need to be at VIU said to help somebody else. Okay, I'm not talking about something that's beat up and run down or whatever the case may be. The reality is that there are folks in our community who needed a piece of equipment, and as too often may be the case, the person may have passed on or has relocated, and this piece of equipment is here. Folks, if it's durable, meaning that it's in good shape and usable, nobody any no major mechanic work on it, think about VIU said, all right? Because the person you may assist in the process may be a member of your family or even yourself. In the event that you won't have to look back and say, well, I need one now, and we had one, and I put it in the trash. you know, this is how we take care of each other in moving forward with vision. Okay, Gerard, you're the visionary. Thanks for passing it on. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing is we're also wanting to, as much as we can possible, eliminate as many barriers to having technology and or equipment as possible within the scope of what we can do. So if there's anyone who, as I said, wanted to help to donate any of their durable medical equipment that are gently used so that we could pass on those cost savings to families, because on average there's a cost savings for families who may maybe temporarily use our durable medical equipment that they
Hmm.
did not have to come out of pocket for. So, in these trying economic times, that may make the difference for a family who may not have the means to be able to choose between possibly buying food and or being able to be mobile because they have access to a durable medical device.
You
I,
know,
I
I
like how you said gently used. But I want you to tell the public about our low interest loan.
I was just coming to that.
You
I
know,
hear VIU said giving away money.
no, we ain't giving away money. We're not giving away money.
You sure?
There's a low interest loan that you can qualify for once you qualify with your credit and all that stuff. Tell the public more about this. I don't know if Shamika or Miss Williams wants to, Miss Thomas or Miss
Um,
Williams.
I could go ahead and explain that a little bit. So yes, the BIU said does offer low interest cash loans to purchase um, services, devices, equipment for persons with disabilities. It's actually the Virgin Islands Assistive Technology Fund. And what we have done is we do have a partnership with Banco Popular. So Banco Popular facilitates the actual loan. What we do as somebody, if we have an inquiry, a referral, somebody called and they said, I'm having some challenges, I'm now not able to enter my home, because I'm having mobility issues, I need a ramp, I don't have the funds to do that. Can I qualify for loan? So we do an intake. So we get the information about the demographics, their income, things like that. And we do a referral. Once we get their information, we refer them to Banco Popular, which we call a bank directions letter. So once they go with that letter, it identifies not just the letter that we're referring them, but what type of service they're looking for. So if, for instance, they want to make their bathroom accessible, they would have to have a contractor come in, look at what it would take, the cost of that, and that is what they would take to the bank and said, okay, I would like to, it's going to cost $7,000. and I want to apply for one of the low interest loan. With that document, they will know based on that they will qualify for the interest buy down loan. We do have a negotiated rate of 8% with Banco Popular, and we pay 4% of that. So a savings of 4% is passed on to the consumer. Again, like you mentioned, it's an actual loan, so you have to go through the bank process. We don't challenge the bank. Um, if they say that you don't qualify for this, or you may have some issues with your credit, and sometimes they would say, well, you can have a co-signer, or something like that to help you qualify. Usually, we've not had people who get these loans are really, really very good in paying back. We have not had any person who have gone not paying their loans, and they reasonably try to keep the loan monthly payment as low as possible. So it may be over 3, 4, 5 years, depending on the amount. But the minimum that the bank and the agreement is to loan is $1,000. The maximum is 15,000. So of course, um, persons can get up to $15,000 if they qualify. And I want to emphasize that because it's not just because you come to the intake and we do a referral that you will qualify, but we're certainly, and this is again to make sure that persons are living inclusive, independent, and productive lives. And so that's one of the programs again under the assistive technology program.
And
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh,
So unfortunately, a lot of people, when they hear loans, they shy away from it because nobody wants another bill. Um, and sometimes those who go don't qualify because their incomes are low, and the bank doesn't want to take the risk because the bank is in business to make money, right? And so we do have a process that we not really had to use much, which is called guaranteed loan, and that decision is made, with internally looking at each an applicant, and what the bank will do is take that money up front, right? Because it's now guaranteed. We're guaranteeing the loan from VIU said, and then the customer would pay back, but the bank would do that upfront if the loan is guaranteed from our end.
okay. So my next question is this loan, can this loan be, is this loan just for home improvements, or can this loan be used for assistive technology devices and stuff like that?
Oh, absolutely. It can be used for assistive technology devices. We've had loans where we persons come through to buy a computer, you know, and the accessories that go with it. So it does not matter the type. That was just an example.
Hmm.
A lot of devices probably won't run that amount, like over $1,000. So we mostly see it for like building ramps and things like that. But it can be used, and it has been used for assistive technology devices. I remember assistive technology devices and services, and you always have to show proof that you're coming in to use that request for something that's assistive technology related. I just don't want a loan.
Okay. Doug, you have any
I see you looking at me.
I looking at you?
You bump me out and monopolize the conversation. Now you watching me like, okay, Doug, I gonna give a little chance
I
now.
know you like to talk.
Well, you see, folks, and y'all discriminating against me, okay? Because I want one, and I can connect devices, and are you telling me that running my mouth is not an eligible disability, okay? So. You know, so ladies, now you know, right? Okay, if that should change, please let me know. All right. Anyhow, on the very serious side, we also talk about the I Can Connect program and VI USAID's role as participating, operating with that program. All right, in that. So if you could talk about that a little bit for. Or is Gerard the spokesperson for that?
Miss Thomas or Miss
I'll let
Williams
Mr.
can answer.
Yeah, I'll let Mr.
Yes.
Evelyn be the spokesperson. Go ahead, do what you do.
No. We're interviewing you guys today.
No. I don't take this side against you. Can you
Hello,
beat up on me
hello.
enough?
I
can take this
gonna
side.
cut off your mic here.
Okay, I'll behave.
Okay. So, Miss Williams or Miss Thomas?
Go, what was the question? I missed that. Sorry.
The I Can Connect program. We would tell the
Okay,
public.
so yes, the I Can Connect program is a very special program because it supports persons who have combined vision and hearing loss. And it's really designed for to improve distance communication. And it is a program that's sponsored by the Federal Communications Commission. And it is again a program across the United States, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. And what it is to get into the hands of persons who have significant combined vision and hearing loss, equipment, devices, services that they can um, to improve their access to communication. And so once a person is qualified, and qualifications is based on not just having the combined vision and hearing loss, but you have to meet income standards. And the income standards are pretty high. So for like a person of for one person in a family, you can't make more, I think, than $40,000. Um, so most of our clients do qualify. We've not had anyone qualify because of their income. And what it does, if we do an assessment to determine what would be the best equipment for that person. So it's not a one size fit all. It's very individualized. So usually those devices are iOS devices like iPads and iPhones. We do have braillers, um, but we don't have a request for that usually here because most people here who are blind do not read braille. The braillers are pretty expensive. I think they run about $8,000. But
Jeez.
the program is designed to get these devices in your hands and provide training. So it's not just we're going to give you the equipment. It training is built in and it has to happen. And so with that a big part of what Mr. Evelyn does is to provide that training, right? So one-on-one training. Of course, it's much more complex than what I'm saying because there's a lot of steps to even get the service done because um, you have to request it in advance. We do work with Perkins School for the Blind. They're the ones who administer have the finances administer it, just like a lot of other programs in the States. And because we're not able to purchase iOS items and send them directly to the Virgin Islands, they do the purchasing, they get it in their hands, and then they send it to us. And it's for the client, it's not for VIU said, it's for the client. The client has sole ownership of the device as long as they need, if there's a problem with, they can always come in, request if the equipment goes bad, they can request another equipment as long as there's funds, they will get it. We've not had an issue with persons not getting the equipment that they qualify for. And that's several pieces of equipment. So someone who just think about it, who gets an iPhone. It has to come with the charging because now they don't come that way. It comes with a durable cover. It may come with headphones. Anything that that person needs to be able to improve their communication, it's all included and it's at no cost to the client And as long as they're in the program, they can sign up for training ongoing because sometimes they become confused if they don't use the item often. And there's a lot to learn on these devices because once you start to get into accessibility features, it actually changes the phone from the way that persons who can see uses it. So that's a lot of part of the training. And again, that program is offered at no cost to consumers.
Right. Well, the it's sometimes hard to convey to folks who have sight and take things for granted. But when you see someone who achieves a higher level of connectivity and communication capability by getting one of these devices, that in and of itself is so rewarding. Sometimes Gerard come in here with his chest puff up so big he can't even get in the door, and all it is that this person, how their life was transformed, and the training that he performed that helped to get them to that level, you know. And as you can see, Jared and I, we have our little back and forth that goes on here, but it's all positive and all good, because when he comes in and he talks in the abstract, doesn't call people name or anything like that, about the transformation that happens for folks. It's really touching. It's really touching, and who feels it really knows it, but to be able to see and observe and see the transformation, it's very touching to hear when he talks about it in that regards. Now, the key to this, from my perspective, is about village community inclusiveness, because we are breaking down barriers. Ages ago, it used to be, keep them home. Why are you bringing them out here for? Okay, Gerard could tell you about his thing going down the road when the man suffer in the car to you.
If you're blind, stay home.
And the bottom line is we are one community. Persons with disabilities are people too. And so, in that context, VIU said, I really appreciate what you do, and we're happy to always have the doors here at WSTX to tout what you folks do down there at VIU said. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And I wanted to just give one more plug because as we age, we do develop disabilities. And sometimes the term disability is off putting because people don't want to be identified as someone with a disability. And so a lot of what we do is outreach to just make people more aware. And last week, I think on the show, we celebrated National Assistive Technology Awareness Day, and Mr. Evelyn was talking about that, and the theme was assistive technology, everyone, everywhere.
Everyone,
So
everywhere.
it's not an exclusive club. At any point, anyone can become disabled, but a lot of times it's just access. And if folks don't have access, they just don't know. And even when we look at something like training on a device, sometimes it takes him 3, 4 hours to do a training because it's so intense and people have they're coming in with no kind of information. And so when you say the transformation is real, it is real. They call, they're happy, they want more of it. So we just want to encourage folks, if you see us anywhere doing outreach, come and talk to us. We usually have devices, many devices that we demonstrate. And it's always, people are always in awe. We just did a training with some seniors at one of the Seventh-day Adventist church, and there was a good bit of them there, and they had never really experienced
Oh,
anyone
yes.
who's able to navigate, who's blind. So the questions were like, pretty basic. Well, how do you take a shower? Like, things like that. They just can't imagine. And so it's always good that people can see folks in the community navigating with a disability because it brings awareness.
Well, with that, I
Like,
want to say to education and schools that you have someone here in the person of Gerard Evelyn that everybody should be trying to line him up to come and talk with the young people in their schools. I had an unpleasant encounter one time where I was trying to engage for him to come to a school, and the teacher, in a very nasty way, wanted to know what it is a blind man could teach these children. And after initially being receptive to him coming, they said, no, we need him here. And this is part of the challenge that we face, whether you want to call it stigma, discrimination, or whatever. This is part of the ongoing challenge. So I'm saying this publicly so that folks will hear it and maybe look at their own bias, whether it's overt or not. The bottom line is that we do have a challenge with bias in our community, and one of the ways to root it out is to talk to the younger folks whose minds are open and willing to learn and embrace the fact that, hey, it's a disability, is and that's all it is. But this person is just like them. They like to go to the movies, they like to go to the concert, they might even like vegetables, even if the students don't like them. And so that's something that I am throwing out there to the schools as education. Take advantage of persons like Gerard to interface with our students. It makes us a better society, a better community, a better village.
yeah, like one of the questions that was asked of me, they were like, how do you shop? So like I explained to them how I shop. I explained to them I use Apple Pay on my phone to pay for my products and stuff like that in the store, and they were like, what? I said, yeah. I said, once you set up your cards and thing, I don't have to pull my wallet. Once that business uses Apple Pay, I just use the cards on my phone and I pay for my stuff. They're like, well, how you know you're not being cheated? I said, because whatever balance they tell me comes up on my phone, and stuff like that. There's a paper trail. They're like, oh, wow, So, Ms. Thomas,
Yes.
so being that you are the chief, the executive director, where do you see VIU said going in the future? I mean, and the reason why I ask this question is because, in reading the news, the present climate in Washington, there's all kind of changes going on. And these centers are valuable for persons with disabilities, especially the one here. It's a small community, and there's lots of persons with disabilities here. I don't know about the 2020 census, but the 2010 census had about 3,400 blind people in the territory. They may be more or less now. Few people have left, and since then, I've known some people that newly became blind. So the numbers have probably gone up or down, So and these are the people that we're trying to reach. So where do you see VIU said going in the future, with all the different changes and stuff that's coming down the pipe from the present climate in Washington?
Well, these are the things that actually keep me up at night a lot of times. So, given the climate in Washington, there is and I wanted to be diplomatic in this way. Lots more advocacy for these types of programs are needed because funding is always under attack, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, in whatever way that you can engage your local lawmakers and politicians and delegates and whoever you're able to be connected to, commissioners and so forth, the advocacy piece from the community is very important in many times. So as a director, I am not able to lobby, I'm not able to do certain things because that is not our function as an agency. However, we do invite a lot of for our Voices That Count. We have an annual Voices That Count forum, and during election year, we usually invite aspirants and incumbent senators, governors, whoever that's available to come and have a conversation with us so that they could hear what is happening with the community from persons with disabilities who may not always get to have their concerns heard or aren't always included. So our goal is to always foster inclusion and a voice and a seat at the table from the beginning. So anything that's happening within the community, we're always trying to get persons with disabilities included from the beginning. So it's not an afterthought after the fact where we're now having to troubleshoot to fix something. But if those voices were there when the decisions were being made, then the whole territory could be inclusive as much as we possibly can, because this is federally mandated to be so. It's not an option. It's supposed to be inclusive and accessible to all citizens of the Virgin Islands, or people, period, not even just citizens, just people, period. So I would love to see VIU said expanded. I would love to see us being able to help more people, but of course, we are only limited to the funding. We are 100% federally funded, and with funding streams being uncertain, it does make the task a little bit more sticky. However, we, as long as we are here, we will always be advocating for people with disabilities. We will always be providing services and education and technical assistance to anyone who requests or needs it, and we're able to deliver in that way based on the scope of the agency.
Perfect.
But I know earlier you made the joke that you said is giving up money. I would love that to be the case, that we be able to give money to everyone.
That wasn't me. That was Doug.
That's not how that works. But you know, in a perfect world, everybody would have the resources that they need to be able to function, live independently, be included, and all the things, regardless of disability, no disability. That is my goal, or that is my hope and dream for the Virgin Islands, period. Because I am a child of the soil. I was born here. I live here. I raised here. My daughter is here. She was born and raised here. And I believe that we deserve all the things because we are worthy. That's it. Nothing else included. No exception. That's it. We deserve the things because we are worthy. That's it. So that would be my hope for the Virgin Islands, that BIU said will be able to bridge as many gaps as we can so that we're able to make a real impact for people of the Virgin Islands, because we deserve it and we're worthy.
Right. Well, one of the things I've been doing, I have a few seniors that stops in every now and then. That they have problems with their iOS devices, you know, and they come by and I assist them, you know. And when I say seniors, I mean these are people like past 80, and they impress me because they're so into this technology. Like, I'd be like, wow, you know, like you can't believe that someone that is in that age bracket.
You rang, you know. You rang.
No.
No, I will tell
No,
you.
it's not being wrong. It's just
No,
some
I know.
people I know have like this they like run from technology, and to see like some of these seniors I deal with, they embrace it and they try to keep up with it, and I'll be like, wow.
But they are the majority. That's why I was jokingly saying you wrong. They are the majority, and I say that um, ages ago when I used to have a computer training program,
Hmm.
right? I remember having an elderly couple come in, and the couple at one computer, and they afraid to touch it. By the time we were done, they fighting over who turn it is to, to use it. But is one of the fastest growing demographics in terms of uh, computer literacy and everything else, and it's really great to see how the world has changed. One of the things that really made a difference was once they start seeing that I could see my grandchildren and I could talk with them. In terms of video conferencing for those who who are not visually impaired, or otherwise just to be able to make that contact. But it's really amazing, and that we just have to know that the barriers, if there are any barriers, is usually in our mind. We have to open up our mind and realize that no child, whether it is child in fact or child at heart, left
Right,
behind.
right.
Yeah.
One of the things I would like to see though is someone teaching the voiceover accessibility on the Mac.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around that one there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
yeah,
You know,
it's challenging. Yeah,
they're trying their best, but one of the big challenges is that these devices can do so much more, and to a certain extent, it's great if you could have a basic level way of setting up a device to do certain things. So sometimes, if you could do 100 things, that's one thing. But if the thing could do a million, and you could accidentally go into one over the hundred that you know, which is what it is now, they can do so much. But that's not a complaint. That's just a challenge to the software people and the technology people in terms of how we can overcome that. And with organizations like VIU said, we have more than a fighting chance for our community to be even more inclusive in terms of improving quality of life for all Virgin Islanders. Yep. Hmm.
There's one other thing I wanted to mention because um, there are other agencies that we collaborate with to get services for individuals with disabilities. So we are not the only program that provide, and I think collaboration is very, very important. And so if VIU said it's not able to do certain things, like we have vocational rehabilitation, which is under the Department of Human Services, who deals primarily with vocation for persons who are disabled and have different types of resources. And so we always like to be able to join with them. BIU said, especially under the AT program, we are required to do referrals because it's not the program is not designed to be everything to everyone. And so part of the requirement is that you do a proper referral. So it could be to vocational rehab for vocation type issues. It can be to Disability Rights Center, which is a protection and advocacy agency, and also the Independent Living Center of the Virgin Islands. And so with those, and collaboration is not easy as it looks. It's probably look better on paper, um, but we have to continuously come together to make sure that persons know where to go for what. And we recently we joined a media campaign, and I'm pretty excited about this because it brings agencies together to tell them people who we are, what we do, and how you can reach us. And that's supposed we're supposed to be launching that pretty soon. So persons can know exactly, because believe it or not, there's a lot of people who don't know about the agency and what we do overall. So we're looking forward to doing that pretty soon, and it's going to be a collaboration with other providers that support individuals with disabilities.
All right. Well, the doors here at WSTX are wide open, and as long as Reflections is here, definitely you know that you have a partnership in getting the word out.
And I also wanted to share while we wait for that. In addition to partnering with disability related services, we also are open to partnering with non-disability related programs and services as well, because I do believe that in order for us to truly achieve inclusivity, then we need to be able to reach across the table for other agencies that may um, be able to benefit from the disability awareness space.
Yeah. Well, we used to have the jazz in the park here in Christiansted, and Jared would be sitting with the chair that he brought with him, and set up and have his phone up there streaming the concert in that sense. And certain people there looking on in amazement because they know that he is visually impaired, okay. um, and they're wondering, well, what he doing. And again, it comes back to the education of the public, and by partnering with all organizations is just another extension of inclusivity, because persons with disability aren't trying to be set apart as much so as they just want to enjoy life like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, streaming the jazz in the park. Yeah, somebody called me and asked me, "Well, boy, you're blind, what you doing streaming?" I said, "I can stream just as well as everybody else."
Yeah. So, but anyhow, the struggle goes on, and VIU said is playing a very important role, uh, individually and collaboratively in that process. And like I said, WSTX door is wide open to help you get the word out and help raise the level of consciousness of what it is that you do, and how we can make the Virgin Islands that much more inclusive in terms of quality of life for everyone.
Well, Ms. Thomas and Ms. Williams, on behalf of us here at WSTX and the staff at Reflections, we would like to thank you guys for joining us today. And don't be a stranger. Anything you may have that you want to put out to the public, you're always welcome to come on here. And once you let me know, I could set it up like how I set it up for today. And you guys can come in and we can have a discussion.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so
Thank you, Mr. Evelyn. And I really do appreciate the invitation. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for spreading the word about disability-related services, especially those that are happening with VIU said. And on behalf of the University of the Virgin Islands, thank you.
you're welcome. So we have reached another come circle. Another episode of Reflections on WSTX AM 970. We have had two of the principals of VIU said, I could say in the studio here, virtually, from the 9 o'clock hour till they close out with us. So it's been a good discussion. So I'd like to say, until next time, next Thursday,
Do a random act of kindness. And
man,
if you're feeling bored, do some premeditated acts of kindness, Gerard.
just do a random act. And don't forget, hey, it got a new update out for your iPhone. So make sure you update your iPhones. You know, but do a random act. And everybody out there, be safe. You know, enjoy the rest of the week. Have a wonderful weekend. Until next time, this is Gerard and Doug saying peace out. Okay. Wait, where's the engineer?
All right, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So the marshal is here. And
The marshal is
head out.
The marshal is here, getting ready to put us out. So.
All right, it's all good.
Okay, so until next time, next Thursday, same time, same place.
AM 970, WSTX, Christiansted, Frederickstead, and the Virgin Islands.
It's hurricane season. Don't get caught scrambling at the last minute. Guardian Insurance Company is here to remind you to prepare like a pro. Update your emergency supplies. Secure important documents, including your insurance policies. Prepare for power outages. Tidy up outside. Have an escape plan. Check on your neighbors, the elderly, and anyone you know that may need support. No panic. Just prep and ride out the season like a pro. Guardian Insurance Company, always by your side.
Come to Tire Kingdom, come to Tire Kingdom. When you need tires for your car, come to Tire Kingdom. For your SUV or your trailer, come to Tire Kingdom. We have every brand in every size. Come to Tire Kingdom. Lowest prices in the Virgin Isles. Come to Tire Kingdom. At Tire Kingdom, we have the largest selection. Number one on the island, that is Tire Kingdom. We have custom rims in every style. Out at Tire Kingdom. The best service that will make you smile. Out at Tire Kingdom. Any tire you need, we've got them all. Out at Tire Kingdom. Right at the entrance of Tutu Mall. That is Tire Kingdom. At Tire Kingdom, we're number one. Best prices and largest selection. Call 776-3400. We will be glad to help you. So shop at Tire Kingdom. The best prices, largest selection. We are number one. At Tire Kingdom.